Okay, so today we're going to pull back the curtain on something pretty cool. It's a kind of hidden map that artists have been using for centuries. A secret blueprint that's actually hidden right there on the human face itself. You know that feeling, right? You spend hours on a portrait, you're pouring your heart into it, but something just feels off. Maybe the eyes are a little too high or the mouth is just a bit too low. It's so frustrating. But what if I told you there's a simple grid, that secret map we were just talking about, that can pretty much fix all of that? Well, that solution is a technique called the rule of thirds. But listen, don't let the word rule scare you off. It's not rigid or anything like that. A better way to think of it is like a master key, a foundational map that just unlocks realistic proportions. This is the secret that's been behind so many of those incredible portraits for ages. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll get into the secret of these timeless proportions. Then, we'll map the face vertically. After that, we'll tackle head angles, then place every single feature, and finally, we'll wrap it up with a blueprint for you to practice. Let's get into it. All right, section 1, the timeless proportions secret. Let's unlock the code of the human face. This is going to be fun because it's not just about drawing a few lines. It's about really understanding the fundamental structure that pretty much every human face shares. Yeah, I really want to drive this home. This isn't just some boring rule. A much better way to think about it is like architectural scaffolding. It's that invisible framework that holds the whole thing together and gives a realistic face its structure and its balance. So we're going to build this scaffolding in 2 key directions. First top to bottom, and then we'll tackle front to back. Okay, let's get to it. Section 2, mapping the face vertically. It's time to start building that foundational grid from the very top to the very bottom. This is the first and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle. So just imagine you're drawing on a face. Step 1, you draw a line from the hairline down to the brow ridge. That's your top third. Step 2, you draw another line, same size, from that brow ridge down to the base of the nose. That's your middle third. And finally, step 3, one more line from the base of the nose right down to the chin. Boom, 3 equal sections. These 3/3, honestly, they are the foundation of everything. And here's why this is so powerful. Look at how everything slots into place. That top third, that's your forehead and hairline. The bottom third, that's where the mouth and chin live. But that middle third, man, that is the crucial zone. It's got the eyebrows, the eyes, and the base of the nose. Getting this one section right is a huge, huge leap forward. I mean, think about it. This is where the eyes are. It's the most expressive part of the face, and it's where you really capture someone's likeness. Okay, moving on to section 3, mastering head angles. Because let's be real, faces aren't flat, are they? They're 3-dimensional. So now we've got to take this amazing map of ours and figure out how to wrap it around a 3D head. This is where we see how the grid actually adapts when the head turns. So let's start with the side view, the profile. Now we're not thinking top to bottom anymore. We're switching gears and thinking front to back. We're literally dividing the depth of the head. And guess what? We're going to use 3 equal segments again. Let's break this down. That first segment, right at the front, that contains all the facial features. The forehead, nose, mouth, chin, the whole shebang. The second segment is kind of the bridge and temple area. The third segment is the back of the skull. But here's the secret sauce. This is the detail that so many people miss. Where's the ear? Look closely. It's not in any of those sections. It's placed just after that second line. I'm telling you, getting that one little detail right is a total game changer. So just to make sure this is super clear, let's do a quick comparison. For the front view, you just split the head into 2 halves right down the middle. Simple. But for the side view, you're splitting the depth into 3/3, front to back. So remember, front view, 2 halves. Side view, 3/3. Got it? Okay, but what about that tricky in-between angle, the 3/4 view? This is where we get to combine everything we've learned. The best way to do this is with what's called the box method. Just think of the head as a simple box, and we're going to apply our rules to the different sides or planes of that box. Here's how it works. It's actually pretty straightforward. First, you just find that corner where the front of the face starts to turn into the side. Now, on that front plane, you use our first rule. Split it into 2 halves. Easy. Then, on the side plane that you can see, you use our second rule. Split it into 3/3. See? It's that simple. You're just combining both of our maps onto one head. And now for section 4, placing every feature. This is the moment we've been building up to. We've got our vertical grid, we've got our horizontal rules. Now it's time for the magic. We're going to put them together and assemble the puzzle, placing every feature exactly where it belongs. Think of this as your ultimate master checklist. Let's run through it. Okay, the ears. Vertically, they line up perfectly between the brow and the base of the nose. And where do they go horizontally? Remember, just after that second vertical line. Perfect. Now the eyes. They're sitting right near the top of that all-important middle third, and they only exist on the front plane. The nose? Its base sits right on that bottom line of the middle third, and it sticks out from the front plane. The mouth is easy. It's entirely inside that bottom third. And finally, the jawline. That beautiful line just connects the bottom of the ear to the chin, and it defines the entire shape of the face. See? With this grid, every single feature has an exact address.
All right, last section, your blueprint for practice. We've gone from theory, now it's time for creation. We have the entire blueprint, but the most important step is always the next one, actually taking this knowledge and making something with it.
And please, remember this. This whole system, it is not a rigid cage meant to trap your creativity. It is the exact opposite. It's that flexible scaffolding we talked about. It's there to give you the confidence to build any face you can imagine. Once you have this down, you can stylize it, you can exaggerate it, you can make it completely your own. It's all about finding freedom through structure.
So there it is, the secret map, the key to the proportions of the human face. The code has been cracked. Seriously, the only thing left to do is to grab a pencil and just see what happens. See where this takes you. So what are you waiting for? Go create.